Hi everybody, thanks for following my channel. This is Jimmy Hacksaws. I'm making another video about my journey with Cipro. It's been a few months since I made one of these, and I thank those of you who have subscribed to my channel and haven't forgotten about you folks. I've been busy. I want to report an update with this video about getting over the trials and tribulations of poisoning by ciprofloxacin. Floxed, my fellow survivors. So I am at just over a year. So we'll call this the 1 year mark. It was a year, May 22nd. So probably a year plus 2 weeks, a year plus 3 weeks, something like that. Where am I at? I'm getting a lot better. At a year, I'm still not really back where I thought that I was going to be. I'm not really sure what to report, honestly. I mean, the long and short of it is I'm feeling better. It's continuing to improve. I did go back to work a few months ago. That's one reason I haven't made so many videos. A lot of aging I can see in my face even as I make this while I'm looking at the camera. This stuff really took a toll on me. Emotionally, psychologically and physically. But I am recovering. I'm continuing to recover. I would say at a year, I would say now I'm at about 50%. Finally, I'm about half what I was before it happened. I still have a lot of the tendon pain, particularly in my ankles and in my pelvis. My vision was damaged. So I do have floaters, and one of my eyes is a little more nearsighted than it was. Some food sensitivities, maybe food allergies to gluten and processed foods, issues that I never had before, Cipro, that linger at a year. I take a very good probiotic, Pro 15, it's around here somewhere. So yeah, a quick rundown of the supplements that I'm still on. At a year, a lot of tendon damage lingers. Haven't seen a doctor in several months. They really weren't doing a lot for me. I've been treating myself, paying money out of pocket on supplements to improve. Doctors want a lot of help. I do take a low dose of gabapentin, a very low dose. At this point, like a maintenance dose. It helps me sleep a little bit at night, and it helps with the neuropathy. So let me see. Let me start with the symptoms that I still have at a year. I would say peripheral neuropathy down in my ankles, going through my legs, from my pelvis. It really kicks up at night. I still have some vision problems, some floaters, some nearsightedness. I think the connective tissue in my eyes were damaged, and up in my face and my jaw. Some digestive issues. I can't really eat the foods that I used to eat before without noticing a flare-up of all of my symptoms. It really flares my tendinitis up. It makes me feel bad. Maybe a headache, my nose will run. That's with gluten and processed food. Never had these problems before Cipro, so this is over a year and I'm still struggling with this. So I really do try to watch what I eat. As I got further out from the initial date of the poisoning, I did start to loosen up a little bit with my diet. And I can eat, French fries or burgers or bread or something like that, or pasta or chips. But I notice when I do, without a doubt, that my symptoms, we just call it a flare-up. I get a flare-up when I eat rotten food, and I never used to have anything like that before. So your diet is obviously very important, and even more important if you've been poisoned by fluoroquinolone antibiotics. What else? So really the main issues for me at this point are still my ankles. That's probably what were hit the worst. At the beginning, I was crippled. If you watch my earlier videos, going back a year ago, you'll get a rundown of all my symptoms. If you're interested, please subscribe to my channel on the link below. Subscribe. Click on that. My ankles, I had to learn to walk again. So my ankles still hurt. I did just walk at the park, and I have been working a desk job / on my feet job. It is active, but I was thankfully able to find work. I'm blessed. I was strong enough at about 10 or 11 months to start looking for work again. And this whole thing had pretty much destroyed me emotionally, physically, financially. And I didn't know if I was going to make it there for a minute. And I just accepted the fact that maybe I wouldn't. You know, I kind of accepted all of it. But somehow I've recovered and I'm crawling through, and I'm blessed. I have bad days. I did have a flare up a few weeks ago that lasted for 2 or 3 days. I'll kick up in neuropathy and tendonitis. It's still painful to walk. But all in all, I would say I'm at about 50% at a year. And that was on one pill mixed with steroids that I was also prescribed for. I'm sure the steroids contraindicated with and interacted with the fluoroquinolones and made it worse. But one pill for me nearly killed me and ruined my life nearly permanently. Still suffering with the lingering effects. The vision thing's a problem. I am going to get to an eye doctor. The trauma stuff and the psychological stuff, I know a lot of you folks out there that are dealing with Cipro damage have a lot of the psychiatric symptoms, which I got the full gamut of, the anxiety, you know, the trauma, the derealization and depersonalization, the trouble sleeping, panic attacks. I had all that, and it was really, really bad when it first happened. That's all, I'd say 90% gone from Cipro, but the changes that it had in my consciousness, sort of in the way that I am now, as I get back into the normal world, I'm changed. It's changed me permanently, and in some ways for the better. And I don't want to make this too chippy and positive for the people that are in the throes of it right now, but this did change me because it completely humiliated me and humbled me to the point of nothingness. And I know that sounds terrible, and it was terrible, but there was a release and some freedom in that, and it kind of unlocked or opened a few things in my consciousness, in my mind. I let go of my mind, I guess is what I'm saying. I had to. I had to let go of my body and my identity and everything that I was before that happened. And that was liberating in a lot of ways. I still get stuck up in my ego, my bullshit, excuse my language. But I'm getting back into the real world. Sorry to get back on track. And I'm carrying with me now into the real world the humility that came with this experience. So there was some silver lining in it all. And for that I am thankful. But, you know, I wouldn't have chosen this, obviously, for myself or for anyone else, even my enemies. This isn't something that anyone deserves to go through. And if you're going through this right now, I want you to know that I'm at a year. I'm still suffering sometimes. And I care. I really do. And there are people out there who do. And some of us understand what it means, what you're going through. I know that some people have permanent damage. I feel like I'm going to have this neuropathy for the rest of my life. I mean, it doesn't seem to improve, and I'm getting a little better. Was very active before all that happened, but I don't know. I'm just kind of day to day and more thankful now, moment to moment, hour to hour. You know, that's kind of how I was conditioned through this ordeal. So if you can just kind of live minute to minute, even if you have to, just accept it and let it go. And God, whatever you want to call it, will happen. So, yeah, supplements. These supplements that I'm on, I'm still taking a magnesium glycinate. I'm still taking the oral magnesium. I'm not selling any of these, any particular products. I have nothing to do with any company or anything like that. I've dropped probably somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 in supplements in the last year out of my own pocket. The doctors were not a lot of help for me. And another symptom, my weight is still down. I lost about 50 pounds of mostly muscle from my upper body and from my legs. I'm getting my strength back a little bit in my legs, but I'm still 50 pounds below what I was the day that I took Cipro. I was about 230, 225, and I'm about 180 right now, 185. So anyway, hang in there, you know. Magnesium. Taking magnesium. I'm taking, this stuff here is magic. Get yourself a topical magnesium spray. It's really good stuff. You know, just spray it on your tendons, on the sore areas. My wrists were also affected. This is good stuff. It'll really work pretty much immediately. There's a lot of different brands on Amazon. I like this kind. Again, not selling anything, but pay a little extra for the topical oil, because the stuff that costs a little more will have some moisturizer in it, because if you buy the cheap magnesium spray, it'll dry your skin up. And it all works really well, but the cheap stuff will dry you up. And I mean, it will really dry you up and crack your skin. But if you pay a little more for it, it'll have a moisturizer in it. You won't have that problem. So definitely get your magnesium going. I still am using a probiotic. You want to get you a good probiotic for your gut, because this stuff really wreaked havoc on my digestive system. And if you've never had a probiotic before, certainly if you've had the Cipro damage, I highly recommend a probiotic. Now look, like I said, I've fielded a lot of supplements, and if you watch some of my other videos, you can get some more background on that. I'm not going to get into all of it. These are the ones that I'm sticking with at the year mark, that I still spend money on every month out of my own pocket. A probiotic, magnesium, a topical magnesium, and the real magic, one of the best supplements, and it's unfortunately the most expensive, but one of the best supplements that I use. God, I feel like I'm getting a little chubby, but I'm kind of skinny. But I don't know. I'm not as active as I used to be, and it's very frustrating to me. But anyway, one of the best supplements that you can get is this stuff right here. It's called BPC 157. This is a little vial. This is an it's an injectable solution that you have to mix yourself. You're going to need to get some bacteriostatic water. When you buy these, you can get these on, I highly recommend eBay. I think Amazon has a few sellers, but they're more high priced in the United States. You want to go on eBay. There's a really good reputable seller out of Colorado. I'm not product placing. There's just only so many places you can get this stuff from. And I tried it, and I gambled, because you're buying stuff on the internet. You don't know where you're getting it from. And you're injecting it. It's legal, by the way. This is a peptide. It's not patented by any pharmaceutical company. And there's clinical research on this stuff. It does work. It will accelerate mammalian tissue healing, connective tissue, tendons, Achilles, stuff like that. It's clinically documented. And I'm telling you right now, it's expensive. I wish I had the money. I would have been buying this stuff all along. Go on eBay. There's a couple of different sellers. Pick the one you like. I'm not one over another. But for about $150, you should be able to get 6 vials of these, of 5 mg vials. If you have tendonitis and tendinopathy, if your ankles are messed up, or it was your rotator cuff, or your wrists, for me it was everything. It was up in my face, and my jaw, my shoulders, my neck, everything. My pelvis, my whole connective tissue system was like disintegrated. This stuff is really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Do your homework on it. BPC 157. You do a few injections a day. I hit both my ankles, sometimes in my groin area and my pelvis. Once in a while, I'll hit my wrist. This stuff will really, you'll notice it within 24 hours. And if you do a few injections each day, 5, 6, 7 days, you'll notice a significant difference in how your body feels. It's a peptide that we produce naturally on our bodies, but apparently it gets broken down in our digestive system before we can really make use of it. A little bit of it gets used, but if you mix up the proper solution, and there are videos on YouTube. I'm not here to do that video with you. I had to do some homework and do a quick calculation for all that. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. There's some good videos on YouTube, and there's information on Google about it. It's completely legal in the United States. Bodybuilders use it. Athletes use it. It's not a performance enhancing. It's nothing like that. It's a peptide that we produce, and the only reason that the pharmaceutical companies don't have their hands on it is because it's something, like I said, that our body naturally produces. They can't patent it because we already make it with our own body. This stuff is just like a whole bottle of it. You can mix it up with some solution and then hit the spots that are sore. Go do your own homework. Highly recommend this stuff, honestly, because for me the tendon stuff was really, really painful. And that does help. It's not a cure, but it accelerates healing, and you can notice it. Valid. So the BPC, the magnesium, the probiotic. I'm high on my vitamin C, heavy on my vitamin C. Definitely want to stay with that. Make sure you keep your immune system boosted. You're watching your diet. You're watching gluten and all that. And however you cope. Hopefully you got some friends or family or people in your life, loved ones, that they don't understand what you're going through, and I know that, but they're supportive, and they're trying to understand. They're trying to get it. You need some good people in your life, whether it's close to you in your home, people you work with, or someone on the internet. I made some really good friends when it all first happened that I'm still friends with now, online from Cipro groups. There's a pretty good group on Facebook. If you cruise those groups a lot, some of them are quite depressing because a lot of people have, they don't recover. We flare up, years down the road. So there's a lot of difficult stories, but a lot of people do. And I feel like if I just kind of pace myself, I can't really push myself like I did before it all happened. But I'm getting stronger, and I feel like maybe 6 months. I mean, the whole thing is probably going to look like 2 years for me. And I know that that's completely insane. Like, who would? I would never have even believed that it was possible for a pill to cause this much damage and take up this much of my life. But I mean, to get back to where I was before, where I could lift weights again and maybe run a mile or two, that's probably going to be another 6 months or a year from now. But I'm so much better than I was before. I'm so much more functional, and I'm working again. So there is hope, but how you manage to get through financially and emotionally and psychologically, a lot of people, a lot of us, all of it. I mean, I think it broke all of us, and it broke us every day. So I don't know how. I mean, there's no roadmap. So I'm making these videos because I'm still here. There are people out there, So we're at a year. I wish that I had more to say. You can always comment and leave comments on my videos. I always try to respond to comments because I know this is happening to people every day for the first time, or they're just realizing what happened. I can respond to your comments. There are other people that are making videos. There are other web pages. Lots of good information. Some of us have already been through it, and we can maybe share with you, if nothing else. Or we can understand without having necessarily any answers. I don't know. But you're loved. Hang in there. Thanks for following my channel. I'll make another one of these here before long, hopefully in a few months with even better news. I'm on a slow incline upward. I've been going on